Welcome back to The Bottom Line. I'm joined by Chase Ingram today, and we are talking a little bit about the fact that Chase's region, the southern region of the US, is one of the first that we have seen actual information come out about the CrossFit headquarters affiliate representative. So we know that this is coming out around the country. Affiliate reps are going to be hopefully helping the boxes, kind of like boots on the ground with their connections to HQ, being a resource, but we haven't heard a lot of names yet and we haven't gotten a lot of information. So as a gym owner in Texas, Chase wanted to get your perspective on what it means to have a little bit more info, have a name, and what you're hoping to get out of this whole representative experience.
Well, one thing is it's the great state of Texas.
Of course.
As all Texans should say if they ever do get interviewed about this. I think it's really cool that we actually got our own representative, like the state itself. I know a lot of these are regional, like the Midwest had like 4 or 5 states together. When this first got announced, I was actually very excited because it was one of those things that I was pretty, I would say, outwardly vocal about. I think affiliates needing some type of representation inside HQ. What that meant was, I really wasn't sure, but I feel like, the affiliates are vital to the success of the company, right? That's kind of what it centers around. And the only ways we can always be successful is like open communication between the company that we affiliate with and, the affiliates that are around the world. So I was very excited when they started this initiative. The way it's being done is slow. Although, a decision like this, I don't think needs to be made quickly. And the big thing is I want to see is having more open lines of communication between CrossFit HQ and the affiliates. So when you have a representative of your region or for us, our state, what does that mean? I hope it means more direct information, either dictated from the representative from HQ or as a collective affiliate in our region from the representative to CrossFit HQ. So those are my hopes of kind of what it would be. Now, what does that mean? I honestly don't know. And nobody really does. And I think that's one of the things we would like to see more is more information. A big thing I've always wanted to see from CrossFit HQ is more transparency. Why are we doing the things that we're doing? Why are these decisions being made? How are these decisions being made? And another one of those things I would like to know is that, how are these people being selected and why are they being selected? And what is it about them that makes them a good representation of that region? I know Grace very, very well. She is our representative for Texas that just got announced. I think she's fantastic. I love her. She's one of those, most people may not know who she is in the state. However, her interaction with CrossFit within the community has stretched back definitely as far as me, if not a little bit ahead. So I think she's a great choice. And I'm really excited to see what that brings and means for Texas itself as one of those regions.
The affiliate community has been through a lot lately. And, going back a few weeks to, when all the drama around Greg happened and then Eric came in, we saw this sort of like mass exodus of a lot of affiliates, a lot of big gyms, a lot of well-known gyms. And I believe that a lot of affiliates now think with these sort of representatives and with HQ trying to send out a lifeline, reach out to them in a way that they clearly were not feeling supported by earlier, that this might be a way to remedy some of the feelings that they had when they were thinking about leaving or left and came back. What do you feel about that?
I would hope that this is an effort to bring them back into the fold. And at the same time is that, I feel for the majority of them, that was a necessary step to show the seriousness of the situation. And that's with the affiliates leaving and the athletes distancing themselves from the CrossFit Games. At the same time, I feel like there was a much more needed stance from current affiliates that didn't want to disaffiliate, that they can also take the stand of, we don't agree with anything that's currently going on. However, we do understand the effectiveness and the power of CrossFit. in the CrossFit community that we want to stand and fight and support those who were going to leave. At the same time, now that things have changed, open our arms back up to those who decided to leave and sacrifice, things that they've been working on for a very long time that they were going to step away from. That's how serious they took it. So my hope is that this is the beginnings of an olive branch, not the entire olive branch. And that is just one of those few things that are still needed to mend wounds. I mean, that was a really hard thing to go to as an affiliate owner and being a part of this community for almost 12 years now. That affected me greatly, and I handled it as well as I could, not as good as I should have. But at the same time, I was very patient in letting things unfold and allowing the process to happen and having conversations with as many people as I could in my affiliate, outside of my affiliate, with CrossFit HQ, as best I can to just kind of figure out what's going on, because it all really comes down to the communication part, right? The communication between HQ and the affiliates in the community, and allowing the community and the affiliates to have communication with HQ. It's always been a one-way road if it ever got communicated at all. So I like the changes that they're trying to make. I want to see, I would like to see a bit more, like I said transparency earlier, maybe more information on why they're doing what they're doing, the process of the things they are doing. What is the selection process for the representatives for these regions? What are the plans you have for them? What is their job going to be? How are affiliates going to work with them to work with HQ? Those, I'm sure that's a lot of information that they have to gather, but those are things I'm eager to see. Not saying I have to see that. I'm just excited to see what that means.
It sounds to me like the bottom line here is this is a really good first step and clearly in the right direction, but that the affiliates are still going to need a little bit more in the way of communication, in the way of background information, and in the way of sort of process information moving forward.
Yeah, like any relationship, like we just had our big make or break fight, right, between CrossFit HQ and the CrossFit community. And, we've got the apology, and we said, these are the things we need to change to move forward. And they're starting to make some of those changes. So the big thing is that I want them to be permanent changes for good, follow through, all the things that we would like to see from, say, our significant others if we ever get in a big fight. It's like, you say a good thing, now let's make sure this goes beyond the 2 weeks of our forgive you phase. So those are some of the things that what they've done. I'm really excited. I'm optimistic. I'm reserved in the sense of I do want to see the follow through. I do want to see that this is change for good, and not, forever sounds a bit over the top, but these are changes that need to be made and made permanently. So I'm very optimistic. I love the direction that we're going. We still have a long way to go. However, I will take every optimistic step forward side by side with CrossFit HQ as we go along.
Well, I'm glad that the affiliates in HQ are still together, back together, if you will. Let's stay in couples counseling so that we keep the flow of information clear. And Chase, thank you so much for joining me on The Bottom Line.
For having me.